This is a project for art integrated learning done by class 10 students of Sri Vijay Vidyashram, Dharmapuri.
A fabulous morning to one and all present here. Here are my friends Supriya, Gokulraj, Abdul Kalam, Dinakar, Priyadarshini and myself Joshika to enrich your learning about unique features of Karnataka and its culture.
We are here to make you feel like approaching a wonderful journey to Karnataka with us. We hope so you all will admire the culture of Karnataka.
That's so great, but which state is rich in culture? Let us guess it.
Hi guys, sorry for the delay. I gonna miss you all for few days as we are planning for a trip.
Yeah, fine. Where are you planning to go for?
Still not yet decided, but I think they have planned to visit Karnataka. But I don't have any idea about it.
Don't worry, we are here to explain you about Karnataka's beauty. Without tradition, art is a flock of sheep without a shepherd. Without innovation, it is a corpse. So let us begin the dream on art forms of Karnataka. Look at me. Do you like birds?
Hey, I love them. Can you explain me about the State Board of Karnataka?
Here our friend Gokul is here to explain you about it.
State Bed of Karnataka. Name of State Bed of Karnataka is Indian roller. They are mostly found near the edges of forest rather than deep forest. They are also spotted in urban and suburban areas and prefers open ground, cultivated fields, local parks, and cities at lower elevation. Generally, they feed on nuts, seeds of tree shrubs and grains, grasshoppers, insects, arsenic, small reptiles, including catbirds, varicolor and small snakes, earthworms, millipedes, snails, spiders, amphibians, cricket, butterflies, and moths. They also take frog and dead injured small vertebrates as their food.
It seems charming.
Do you know the wildlife of Karnataka?
No, I don't have any idea about it.
Don't worry, Priya is here to explain you about it.
The state of Karnataka in South India has a rich diversity of flora and fauna. It has recorded forest area of 38,720 km square, which constitutes 1,234.67719% of the total geographical area of the state. These forests support 25% of the elephants population and 20% of the tigers population of India. Many regions of Karnataka are still unexplored and new species of flora and fauna are still found. The Western Ghats mountain in the western region of Karnataka are the biodiversity hotspot. Two subclusters of Western Ghats, Talakaveri and Kunjamuk in Karnataka, are in tentative list of sites that could be designated as World Heritage Site by the UNESCO. The Bandipur and Nagarhole National Parks, which fall outside the subclusters, were included in the Nilagiri Biosphere Reserve in 1986, a UNESCO destination.
Wow, really Karnataka is rich in flora and fauna. Hey, have you ever tasted the food of Karnataka?
No, I didn't.
Wow, food! Yummy! I'm feeling hungry now.
Always don't be eating, Abdul.
Jokes apart, let me explain you about the food of Karnataka. The South Karnataka cuisine is dominated by steamed rice and ragi, and the traditional dish is the ragi ball. Other must-try dishes include benne dosa, akki roti, and ragi roti. Also, there are a vast variety of rice dishes like bisbalabat, kesari bat, and vangi bat. Famous dishes in Karnataka includes bisbalabat, damaged benne dosa, uppitu, ragi roti, akki roti, saru, kesari bat, vangi bat, kara bat, and ragi mod. Popular sweet dishes of Karnataka includes Mysore pak, chiroti. Famous food of Karnataka, kori gasi, neer dosa, Mysore masala dosa, allu getta, Mysore pak, kanne rava fry, Coorg pandi curry, bisbalabat.
Amazing! Really eager to taste the delicious food.
Oh, tonight there is a match between RCB and CSK. Ishala Kapalundi.
I do forget about it. I'm sure that they are going to rock it.
Hey, wait a minute. Anyone know the famous port of Karnataka?
Hey, I know.
Relax, be calm. Now tell me.
Cricket is very popular sport in Karnataka with international cricket matches attracting a sizable number of spectators actors who are willing to pay more than the standard ticket price to get a chance to watch the match. Chinnaswamy Stadium, located in Bangalore, is the only stadium in Karnataka that has hosted international cricket matches. This stadium also hosts the National Cricket Academy, which was started to train youngsters who could represent India in the future. Former Indian captain Anil Kumble holds the record for the most test wickets among Indian bowlers. Rahul Dravid, the former Indian captain, represents Karnataka in the Ranchi Trophy.
Fantastic, really a vigorous sport.
Rakita, dinaka.
What happened to you? Are you crazy?
Yeah, I'm crazy on dance.
Dance? What do you know about dance? I know much better than you.
Hey Gokul, can you say me about the state dance of Karnataka?
Yeah, sure. Here we go. Traditional dance of Karnataka. Dolu Kunita is a major popular drum dance of Karnataka. Accompanied by singing, it provides spectacular variety and complexity of styles. In all temples of Bhairashwara, the major instrument dolu is sung by means of a thick thread tied to hooks in the ceiling. Every time worship is offered to Bhairashwara, there should be an instantaneous beating of dolu. The story is that demon Dola Asura worshipped Shiva devotionally, and when Shiva appeared before him, asked him to ask for a boon, that he should be able to swallow Shiva himself, or else he requests immortality, which Shiva refuses, so that the indirect Dola swallows Shiva.
Beautiful, I'm really eager to dance like them.
Hey, do you know today Saint Vikram's Irumugan is going to stream on Sun TV. It consists a beautiful song. Helena.
Stop it, Abdul. Pa, what a horrible voice.
Do you know Helena means?
Helena means butterfly. They mean to say that Nayantara is so beautiful like butterfly.
Hey.
Guys, do you know Helena are rich in Karnataka?
Oh, really? Is this true?
Yes, I'm sure in it.
Can you say me still some facts on it? I really love butterflies.
Yeah, sure. Dinakar will describe you about it.
Pteroids helena. It was early considered as a subspecies of the common birdwing, but it is now recognized as the valid species. The species is more common in the western Ghats of South India, which is a biodiversity hotspot of high degree of endemism in the many taxa. It is much sought after the collectors and is a highlight of many butterfly tours in the western Ghats. It is the state butterfly of Karnataka in India. Pteroid means the southern birdwing is a large and strikingly swallow-tailed butterfly endemic of South India with a wingspan of 140 to 190 mm. It is the second largest butterfly in India.
Oh, it is a beautiful creature in the world. I'm really eager to go there and fly with them.
They have beautiful wings to fly, but what do you have?
Don't get jealous on my happiness.
Okay, let me ask you something, Supriya. If you want to stay there, you need to know their language, right?
Language. I didn't think about it.
Hey, why are you becoming sad? Don't worry. Our friend Abdul knows that language very well. I'm sure he will help you in learning it.
Language. Kannada is one of the Dravidian languages of South India. Apart from being the language of majority in Karnataka, there are also large number of people speaking in the neighboring states of Karnataka, that is Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Maharashtra. Out of 21.7 million Kannada speaking population, 86% is in Karnataka. Kannada is surrounded by three literature-rich Dravidian languages, Malayalam, Tamil, Telugu, in south and east. While in the west with Godava and Tulu of same Dravidian family languages, and in north with Indo-Aryan family languages, Marathi. And thus, though Kannada is influenced by Aryan aspects, it has been able to retain its Dravidianism in terms of vocabulary, literary, and so on.
ಕನ್ನಡ ನಿಜವಾಗಿಯೂ ತಮಿಳಿನಂತಹ ಸಿಹಿ ಭಾಷೆ.
What do you mean?
I mean that Kannada is really a sweet.
That's okay. Do you know any ancient palace in Karnataka?
Palace? No, I don't have any idea on it. Can you explain me?
Yes, here is Dinakar to expound about it.
Mysore Palace. Mysore Palace is also known as the Ambarela Palace, located at the heart of the Mysore city. It is the most prominent tourist destination of Mysore, with millions of visitors around the year. The historical palace, housed within the old fort facing the Chamundi Hills, stands as the official residence of the Odeya dynasty who ruled the kingdom of Mysore from 1399 to 1950. Displaying the Indo-Saracenic style of architecture, the spiraling building of the replacement of old wooden building destroyed by the fire in the late 19th century. Commissioned by the Krishna Rajendra Odayar Fort, the palatial building comprises of two darbar halls and numerous colossal courtyards, building and strikingly beautiful gardens that speaks the volume of splendors of the Odayars. Gujarat Yadava community came to Karnataka and settled in Mysore, getting enthralled by its natural beauty. Starting with Yadava Odayar, who found the Odaya dynasty in 1399, the Yadava ruled the area for around its 6 centuries. He was first to build the palace within the Mysore old fort in the 14th century, but that was dismantled and built several times later. Immediately after the death of Tipu Sultan, May 1799, Maharaja Krishna Rajendra Odayar III made Mysore Palace his capital and eventually came under the rule of British. The spelling of the royal name of the dynasty was changed to Odayar from the Odayar by his success.
Can you tell me something
Over to
more
Gokul Raj.
about it?
In 1897, the wooden palace was destroyed by fire while wedding ceremony of His Highness Raja Krishnaraja Wadiyar for elder sister Princess Jayalakshmi Ammani was taken place. That year itself, the younger monarchy and its mother, Her Majesty Maharani Vani Vilas Sanithan, registers of Mysore, elected Lord Henry Irvine, a British architect, to construct a new palace. In 1912, the construction of the palace was completed with the cost of rupees 41,47,913 rupees. It was expanded in 1940 under the rule of the Maharaja of the Kingdom of Mysore, Jayachamendra Rajendra Udayar. Over to Gokulraj. Spiral staircase of Mysore Palace. Mysore Palace is a historical palace and a royal residence at Mysore in the Indian state of Karnataka. It is the official residence of Padaya dynasty and the seat of Kingdom of Mysore. The palace is in the center of Mysore and faces Chamandi Hills eastward. Lalita Mahal, the royal guest house. Lalita Mahal is the second largest palace in Mysore. It is located near the Chamandi Hills, east of city of Mysore in the Indian state of Karnataka. The palace was built in 1931 at the orders of Highness Krishnaraja Wadiyar for the Maharaja of Mysore for the exclusive stay of the Viceroy of India. Built on a raised ground, the palace was fashioned on the lines of St. Paul's Cathedral in London and is one of the imposing structures of Mysore city. The elegant palace is painted pure white. It was converted into heritage hotel in 1974. A video on Mysore Palace.
Have you ever visited Hampi?
No, can you describe me about Hampi?
Here to expedite.
Hampi or Hampe, also referred to as the Group of Monuments at Hampi, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site located in East Located in east central Karnataka, India, it became the pilgrimage center of Hindu religion. It was the capital of Vijayanagara Empire in the 14th century. Chronicles left by the Persian and European travelers, particularly the Portuguese, say that the Hampi site was a prosperous, wealthy, grand city near the Tungabhadra river with the numerous temples, farms and trading markets. By 1500 CE, Hampi Vijayanagara was the world's second largest medieval era city after Beijing and probably India's richest at that time, attracting traders from Persia and Portugal. Location of Hampi. Located in Karnataka near the modern era city of Hosapet, Hampi's ruins are spread over 4,100 hectares and it has been described by UNESCO as an austere grandiose site of more than 1,600 surviving remains of the last great Hindu kingdom in South India that includes forts, riverside features, royal and scared complexes, temples, shrines, pillared halls, mandabas and memorial structures, water structures and others. Hampi predates the Vijayanagara Empire. There is evidence of Ashokan epigraphy and it is mentioned in the Ramayana and Puranas of Hinduism as Pampa Devi Tirthakshestra. Hampi continues to be an important religious center.
Great! I'm really very eager to visit some historical monuments.
Here is our friend Abdul to spell out a few words on Bijapur.
Bijapur. Bijapur, officially known as Vijaypura, is the district headquarters of Bijapur district in Karnataka, state of India. It is also the headquarters of Bijapur Taluka. Bijapur city is well known for its historical monuments, architectural importance built during the rule of Adil Singh dynasty. Bijapur district is historically, traditionally, and legendarily one of the richest districts in the state. The evidence found here reveals that it was an inhabited place since the Stone Age. Many places of this district had legendary history. The history of this district is divided into four periods, from the Chalukya acquisition of Badami till the Muslim invasion. In 1817, war broke out between British and Marathas. By 1818, the whole of Bijapur was occupied by British and was included in the territory assigned to the Raja of Satara. In 1848, the territory of Satara was obtained through the failure of there and the British rule started. Till 1884, the Bijapur district had headquarters at Kaladagai. Bijapur was made headquarters in 1895. Central government had approved request to rename city in October 2014 from Bijapur to Vijaypura on 1 November 2014.
It was marvelous, but still I want something much interesting.
Let us take a view on Kolar Goldfields and can enjoy its history.
I know some interesting facts about Kolar Goldfields.
Really? Go ahead.
Kolar Goldfields was once the largest gold producing mines in Asia. The mines were however shut down in 2001 for a decrease in gold production along with increasing production costs. Despite this, a visit to this land which once produced gold is totally worth it. Today we bring to you the 12 unknown facts about the Kolar Goldfield which will blow your mind. One of the deepest mines on earth at a depth of 3000 meters deep. KGF is one of the deepest mines on the earth. Mini England, due to the pleasant weather and the terrain, KGF was dubbed Mini England. Second ancient town to get electricity. Yes, Kolar was the second town in Asia to be provided with electricity after Tokyo in Japan. Longest passenger train. The longest passenger train in the world is Swarna Express goes from KGS to Bengaluru. Hills formed from mining remains the gold field has left behind debris which eventually solidified to form a large hill 30 meters high. Due to nature of its formation, there are no plants growing on it. This hills provides a breathtaking view of the towns and the mines.
I know some unknown secrets about Kolar goldfields.
Go ahead.
History of Kolar goldfields. Wherever we are on earth, KGF is an inseparable part of our soul. We, the citizens of the Golden City, have all reasons to be proud for what we are, the children of KGF, the land of proudness, and our hearts always beat for it. KGF citizens quoted from Kolar Goldfields, Unfolding the Untold by Dr. S. Srikumar. Kolar Goldfields is a mining area in the Kolar district of Karnataka, South India, 100 km from Bengaluru. It is estimated that gold has been mined there for over 2000 years, and whilst many people over the course of history tried their luck at finding gold, Kolar Goldfields' modern success is generally attributed to the firm John Taylor and Sons after John Taylor III took control of the mines in 1880 and established what was at one time the deepest and most productive gold mine in the world.
It is really mesmerizing by your facts.
Why KGF was closed? The mine closed on 28 February 2001 due to a fall in gold price despite gold still being present. One of India's first power generation units was built in 1889 to support mining operations. The mine complex hosted some practical physics experiments between 1960s and 1992. One of India's first power generation units was built in 1889 to support mining operations. The mines were nationalized in 1956 but closed 15 years ago after losses due to inept management, wrong pricing policy, and lack of investment in new exploration.
I am really adored by the information of Karnataka.
Culture is not an initiative. Culture is a never form initiative.
Culture, the acquainting ourselves with the best that has been and said in the world.
The people without the knowledge of their past history, origin, and culture is like a tree without roots.
Thank you for giving us a wonderful opportunity and spend your precious time with us. Don't forget to remember our history, culture, and arts.
So your presentation was very well done. You have prepared very well and practiced through and through. You have collected materials, the graphics, the videos. You have prepared it, edited it. So a lot of work had gone in. It was the best of all the presentations so far. Of all the presentations which the students had put up, this was the best. Congratulations to the group concerned.
Thank you, sir.
Very
Thank you,
nice.
sir.
Well done. Well done. Well done. And I just want to ask the classmates if the video was clear. The classmates.
When do certain architectural objects become an element of art? So if possible, Monisha can try it, sir.
Anybody else other than Ashvika?
Monisha, can she try, sir?
Okay. You yourself say it because others have not paid attention to it well. You
So
say.
can you try it, sir?
I cannot try because I have forgotten. You say the answer.
Yes, sir. It happens that some buildings often designed in an innovative way according to innovative concepts which were later found to be crucial for the development of a specific era in the history, sir.
Okay, well done, well done. Okay, another question.
Sir, can you answer it, sir?
I cannot. You say if it is possible I shall answer, or you can give me 0 mark, no problem.
Yes, sir. How can new online media and information technologies support the promotion of culture and art?
Okay, it is a wonderful question which you have asked me. I can give you some
Yes, sir.
through technology. You can promote it very well because that is what is more accessible to the people, especially the youngsters. Okay, and what is shared through the social media reaches millions in a fraction of second. So it can easily be done. Through social media, the awareness about the culture and the art forms can easily be imbibed in the people. Okay, and did I answer correctly, Joshika?
Yes, sir. It is almost correct, sir.
Oh, almost correct. Okay. So now we can give others the chance.
Yes, sir.
Or you can give me the correct answer.
Sir, can others try, sir?
Oh yes, can others? Anybody try?
Sir, no problem if it is wrong, sir. Just they can give a try.
Yeah. If it is wrong, no problem. If it is wrong, you will get 100 marks. If it is right, you will get only 1 mark.
Works of art are an important element of culture in the social and cultural heritage. The achievements of culture, including works of art, should be cherished for future generations. Many works of art, entire collections of many museums are digitalized in the form of digital record of reproduction of works of art so as to increase the accessibility of citizens of to culture and culture heritage.